Welcome back, everyone. We're at the sacred site of Uluru. Harold's friend Lockie has put us in touch with some of his mob from Anangu land. Harold and I have been learning so much about Lockie's culture. Lockie's uncle even taught Harold how to throw a boomerang. Culture and heritage is so important. Let's check in with Advika and find out a little bit more about hers.
Hey, can I talk to you for a bit, please, Red?
Suppose.
I'm so sorry I upset you. We've been friends forever. But I don't really understand what's going on.
Well, I don't really understand myself. I think I was a bit offended at first, because I've always thought it was cool that I gave you a nickname and it stuck. But really, it's no one's business but your own what you're called. If it's Advika from now on, well, that's pretty cool. I understand why it's important to you. You know, with all that family history. And the name Advika means the world? That is cool.
But you still look a bit sad. Is there anything else?
Well, I've never told anyone this, not even my family. But I don't really like being called Red.
What? I had no idea. Why didn't you tell us?
I don't know. I think I just felt stuck with it. It was my dad's nickname first, you see, and then everyone called me Red too, because, well, you know, it didn't even feel like me, but I thought I just had to go along with it.
I'm so sorry. I wish you'd said something.
The funny thing is, I didn't really think I could say anything. I know it sounds silly, but it wasn't until you told us about how you wanted to change your name that I realised I'd been too scared to speak up. I think that's why I sorta overreacted. I'm sorry. I hope I didn't hurt your feelings.
Well, I accept your apology. We're all good. So what do you want to be called?
Well, my name's Max, so that's a start. I don't even really know yet. But there are so many things about me that are more interesting than my awesome hair. You know, like how I carve it up at the skate park, and my smooth moves on the sports field, and how I make the best cheese toastie in Australia, and how I nearly always remember to bring my books back to the library. And I'm a pretty good friend. Well, usually.
Okay, I get it. Sounds like we have plenty of material for a new nickname. Are you two okay? Yeah. We might need your help with something special a bit later. But for right now, you're it.
So as you can see, even the best of friends sometimes have to work through big feelings. But we keep on trying and we keep on talking. So now it's over to all of you. Check in with your mates, be kind and look after each other. See ya!
There is nothing wrong with your headphones. I am in control. In a land far, far away, but actually quite close. In a time...
Hey, I can see Harold's enjoying himself here in Western Australia at the School of the Air. Did you know this is how lots of kids have to learn? Remotely? It's kind of like a Zoom call, really. No, not that sort of Zoom, Harold. It just goes to show how important communication really is. It's a big part of healthy friendships.
What is empathy? I don't know. Empathy is like how you put yourself in someone else's shoes, and you know how they're feeling about something.
Yeah, and you want them, and you know what it's like, and you want to help them.
Yeah, because you might have gone through what they're going through.
Yeah.
What is empathy? I'm not sure. I don't know.
What is empathy?
It's like
putting yourself in someone else's shoes?
Well, this is a bit hard, but I think it's imagining some people, like how they're feeling.
What is empathy?
Yeah, I'll say. Yeah. What is empathy? Empathy is when you put yourself in someone else's shoes to see how they're feeling, if not, to see if they're okay.
What is empathy? We learnt what empathy was in peer support, and empathy is where you put yourself in another person's shoes and see how they feel about that perspective they're in, if they feel positively or negatively about it.
Nice.
Welcome to the Great Barrier Reef. Isn't it amazing? Harold, are you all right? What's up? Do you need to go to the toilet? Mate, I'm having trouble understanding you. Harold, are you all right? What's up? Hey, Harold, sorry. I had a little bit of trouble trying to understand you then. Sometimes it can be really tricky to know how somebody's feeling.
How can you tell how other people are feeling?
You can tell how other people are feeling by their body language or the emotions they're showing.
Yeah, so like if they're crying, they're upset.
Yeah.
If they want to punch something, they're mad. You can tell they're nervous or worried about something.
You can tell, like how they act around you and how they, talk.
How can you tell how someone else is feeling?
You can tell, their emotions.
You can tell by their self-expressions.
Like their facial expressions, their posture, and how like they're moving. Like if they're moving, if they're doing a little skip and hop in it, they're mostly happy and excited. But if they're like more run down and walking slowly and alone, they're not doing too great.
How can you tell how other people are feeling?
Well, if someone's happy, they can jump with joy and walk really fast. But if they're sad, they will droop their head and walk really slow.
We're out the front of the Wayside Chapel, King's Cross, Sydney. This is where life education first started, way back in 1979. Wow, Harold, that's such a long time. Think of all the millions of lives you've positively changed in that time.
Congratulations, Healthy Harold, for positively influencing millions of young Australians since 1979. We are putting your face on $5 note.
Healthy Harold's been thinking a lot about his own nickname since his friends opened up about theirs. Once upon a time, his friends used to call him Happy Harold. I reckon I can think of a few better ones. Hides when it's time to wash up Harold. Hardly cleans his room Harold. Holds the record for most consecutive days without a bath Harold. Oh, I'm just kidding, mate. I think Healthy Harold is the perfect nickname for you. You know, Harold, nicknames are fun, but not everyone needs one. We've really got to be respectful and call people the name they choose to be called. only got one school left and then we're heading home. I know you can't wait to get back to your friends and tell them all about our trip and adventure. I just want to say how proud of you I am, Harold. You've gone through an awful lot this trip, and no matter what, you kept your smile and stayed positive. That's called resilience. Let's hear from one of our kids scientists to find out how important it actually is.
G'day, my name's Kylan. I'm one of Harold's kid scientists, eh? You might think I don't look like a scientist, I'm too young and all, but let me tell you, I've got what every good scientist has got, a curious brain. We've all got brains, eh? Me, you, my little brother, even though he doesn't always act like it. Anyway, let's talk about the brain now, yeah? I'm gonna tell you a little bit of a story about something big that happened to my brain. You see, I was a bit worried about school camp. I know, camp is great, but I gotta be honest with you, I was peeking about one particular thing. On our camp, we go abseiling. Now, if you haven't heard of that before, basically you walk backwards, off the edge of a cliff, while hanging onto a bit of rope. I know, right? Backwards off a cliff, and just casually hop off. What? Now, I just need to let you know, before we go any further, that I can do heaps of stuff. I helped with the shearing last year, I can do jumps on my motorbike, and I barely flinched when the bull came at me last weekend. Okay, I flinched a bit, but the idea of abseiling? That made me want to skip the camp altogether. But of course I went, and before I knew it, it was abseiling day. I couldn't even face the brekkie. My guts felt that off. We had an instructor that helped us get geared up, but I felt like my heart was going to jump right out of my chest. I made an excuse that I had to go to the toilet, and I was there for like 10 minutes. When I came back, the instructor asked me if I was okay, and I pretended I was. We got to the edge of the cliff, and my knees felt like jelly. I stepped back real quick and just sat down on the grass, you know? The instructor asked me again if I was okay, and I told her, actually, I don't think I can do this. She looked me right in the eyes and said, "It's okay, mate. You just can't do it yet." And she promised me she'd teach me everything I needed to know. I got to the edge again. I looked down, and I just couldn't do it. I was embarrassed and frustrated, and I yelled, "I can't do this!" The instructor was real patient, and she said again, "You just can't do it yet." I went back to the edge, and I gotta say, that first step was so hard. Like the hardest thing I'd ever done in my whole life. But after that, I felt sorta okay. And by the time my feet touched the ground, I got the biggest burst of something good in me. I'd done it. The instructor gave me a thumbs up, and then she said that I was resilient. That means I faced a challenge, tried a couple of times and couldn't do it, but I bounced back, gave it my all, and did it. And guess what happened next? I had another go, just for fun. And you know what? Now, every time something's a bit hard and I feel frustrated or even a bit hopeless, I say to myself, I just can't do it yet. You can do it too. In fact, you do it every day, even if you never knew you were doing it, but now you do. Be curious, eh? Keep learning and be a kid scientist, just like me. See you later.
Well, everyone, that brings us to the end of the Friends and Feelings module. We've had the best time, so much fun. And Harold, look at all the amazing memories we have teaching around Australia. As always, there's some fun activities to do after this session. Harold and I can't wait to come back to your school soon. Bye, everyone.